Hi, I'm Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the University of Texas.
And I'm Hargrove. I'm a roofer.
I also saw action in 52 games.
And I fix a lot of roofs.
Also won a Rose Bowl and never lost to A&M.
And I fix a lot of roofs, right, Stevie?
Oh, right. I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit.
So are you going to say that thing about Hargrove Roofing?
Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Is this even going to work as a commercial?
Together forever, you and I, and love me again like you loved me before.
Oh my God, the karaoke king!
You put that in there, man.
Hey, I'll delete it.
Oh man, Boys to Men. Hey,
Boys
that's
to
the
Men.
childhood right there, man.
Old school, man. What was that? That was mid 90s, right? Or early 90s?
Yeah, mid to early 90s. Yeah, early 90s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. Boys to Men.
Motown Philly back again.
No question.
So
that was a fun weekend I had in Napa. Well, that was San Francisco.
Oof.
At a karaoke bar. We had our own room, so we could just let loose. And man, it was some really, really fun times with some really close friends, man.
That's what the beautiful thing in life. You surround yourself with good people on a good trip.
Absolutely.
And Napa, do you have any suggestions? Some shameless plugs for wine?
Man, really, I like Swanson Vineyards. Uh-huh. We didn't go there on this trip. We've been a couple times, my wife and I. But there was one, Raymond. Raymond was really, really cool, man. And people that know that are close to me know that I like Baccarat Crystal. So this place, it was a total surprise to me that when we walked in, they had a room full of Baccarat crystals, and the glasses that you drink out of were Baccarat crystals. So shout out to Baccarat. I was in seventh heaven. Like if I can't turn my computer, but on my in my office here, I got a sofa table full of all my Baccarat crystals with decanters and whiskey glasses and things like that over here. So I'm a huge fan of Baccarat, and I walk in there and there's nothing but Baccarat chandeliers and things like that in there. So it was really cool to see and be around. I mean, it was just a cool room. And the package that we had was, you rent the room, and with the room comes unlimited bottle of wine, right? So she'll uncork. There was like 4 bottles that she can uncork to let us all try. And we tried all 4 bottles. And if whatever one you like, it was bottomless.
That is the way to go.
Yeah, it was bottomless, man. So we had a really good time. And I can't even say that the wine made me sing like I sang in karaoke, because what you just saw was Stevie Lee completely sober. Hey man, I give you me,
Hey, that was post charcuterie plate.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. The pass rush with Stevie Lee, you get all types of education. Of course, we go off on tangents. We have a good time. But man, this guy, we got to give a shout out to our guys, Hargrove Roofing, as you saw at the top. They make this possible as we continue to grow this thing and come up with some creative ideas, and love their slogan. They're here in Austin. They're really across the state and Stevie's home state of Louisiana and Shreveport. Know who's on your roof.
Know who's on your roof. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Well, pat with the football right to the pancreas.
No, I'm sorry, Clive.
Sorry, Clyde. We're gonna have to get Clyde on the show here at some point. Oh, so while you're in Napa on the vineyards, you got to see the game. Texas responded well to that loss in Lubbock with a 38-20 win over West Virginia, evening up that record in conference play. So all the goals are still on the table.
All the goals are on the table. OU loses, so we're wide open, really.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it last week. I think the Big 12 is going to eat itself. You know, there's not going to be an undefeated team in the Big 12. There's not. I don't see that happen. Do you? Do you see it happen?
I just don't. I don't see it happening. I'm big on Kansas State. I think Oklahoma State is solid, but people underestimate these road trips in the Big 12. The Big 12 is deep this year. And you're not going to get a national champion out of here, but you could. I think Oklahoma, I don't know. I'm not going to say there won't be a CFP team, but I don't know. If you get a CFP team, anything's possible to play for a national championship.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure.
Don't kill my hopes, man.
No, hey, everything is still alive.
Everything's still alive, but, there's a selection committee for the college football playoffs. And if there are other teams that have 2 losses, like we have 2 losses, they may pick them over us. But, anything can happen in college football, man. Everything's on the table.
A lot of ball left to play.
A lot of ball left to play. There you go.
So Sark talked about this response. They had a strong first half. Hudson looked good, but here's Sark on UT's response to that debacle in Lubbock.
And it's a mindset. It's a mentality. It's about mental intensity. It's about focus. It's about energy. And I thought that, it's the old adage in coaching, you get what you emphasize. And so we made a big emphasis about it. And I think ultimately we got the response we were looking for.
I'd say so. I mean, what you saw, what did you like the most other than the fast start?
Yeah, fast start. I saw them being physical, more physical up front, right? I'm a positive guy, but you asked me. That's about all I like, though. I mean, I'm still a positive guy, but I got some negatives.
Keeping it real consistent.
Yeah, I got some negatives that I did not like.
Let's air those out.
Do we want to do that now? You want to air those out now?
Yeah, let's go. I love it when Stevie runs off his list, man. This is what it's about.
So we had some penalties at the end of the game or towards the end of the game, right? We got to clean up, right? The other thing was there was one drive, and I can't remember when, was it in the third? Remember, I was in Napa, everybody, so I was tuning in and out. There was a time in the game that we were just handing the ball off to Bijan down after down after down, right? And so yes, I understand wanting to run the clock out. We got other guys that can get some touches also. I don't want to wear my guy down either, right? And now in the same breath, I don't know how we fix this. It took a long time for him to get to 100 yards. So I think he finished with 101 or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
He finished with 101. We have a world-class back that should be hitting 100 yards early in the third, So this kid is he's special, but if we can't hit 100 yards in the first half, I think that we got to find some other ways for him to get the ball and things like that. So what are you going to say?
Well, you hit a part that I did not like. They got to clean up those second halves. The penalties. Man, I'm looking at it, 7 penalties for 65 yards, and you can't do that in the game that's coming up.
In the game that's coming up, well, you can't do that in any close game.
No.
Right. And so that's one of our problems at the University of Texas is we're not finishing. Like we start hot and then we get cold. I thought that we were all gas, no brakes.
Lay off that brake. I need to see it.
I like to be all gas. First quarter, we're in first gear. Second quarter, we're in second gear. Third quarter, fourth gear. Fourth quarter, fourth gear. Third quarter, third gear. Fourth quarter, fourth gear. But then take it up a notch. Hit that turbo button.
Go back up. Run away with it.
Yeah, man. Take it up a notch. So once we get up, we need to – I think the mentality is if we score 21 points in the first half, your goal is to come out to score 35.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
in the second half, right? So, I mean, whatever the score is at the end of the game, you need to do better than you did in the first quarter or the first half.
That's
right. And then that also lets you hold on to the ball and the defense is not on the field as much, right? And then the defense stopping the opposing team's offense too. So I don't know, man. We still got work to do for sure, but it was impressive to come off of that loss from Texas Tech to come out against West Virginia and actually do something. You know,
I like seeing it. You know, and mistakes. They're starting to trim those mistakes down. They're still losing the time of possession battle, and then. Sark, man, he addressed it about those mistakes, and he seems like because the quality of officiating across the country on all levels is taking a hit, and this is what Sark said about that.
The game had some kind of awkward moments where it slowed down and kind of got a little herky-jerky. There was a lot of fouls being called, some of which I'm clearly going to want answers to because I'm just trying to figure out how some of this stuff is getting called.
Yeah.
We're thinking the same thing every week. What? Like going back to DeMarvion, the targeting, Alabama in the end zone should have been a safety. I'm sticking beside that.
Yeah, no question. You should. I don't know if is it officiating across the board throughout the NCAA or is it?
It seems like. I'll say this, what we talked about, Texas and Oklahoma, they're receiving some calls that they normally – I don't know. I don't want to be conspiracy theorist, but it sure seems like the Big 12 officiating is out to get OU and Texas.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay? I'm not disagreeing with you. It feels that way. It honestly feels that way, man. But Overshawn's was it Overshawn? Defensive when he got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, that's
targeting. Overshawn got kicked out of the game for the targeting. When you go back and look at that, it wasn't the crown of his head. The quarterback pulled back to protect himself. I just don't see anybody that know anything about football making the kids sit out the rest of the game or for the first half and the rest of the game of last week or the week before that. That's punishing the kid, you know? And so that was that felt egregious to me.
Yeah, you know? It definitely played a role in that first half against Texas Tech.
Against Texas Tech, yeah, absolutely it did.
Man,
game we could have gotten off the field a couple of those fourth downs, you know?
Overall growth. They did what they were supposed to do
to
West Virginia. And now we get to talk about a very special game, and I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about it. The game, baby, arguably the best rivalry in college football.
Let me tell you something, man.
Gotta be.
It ain't arguably to me. I think this is the best environment for college football, the best environment that I'd never want to go back to. As a spectator, I had so much fun doing this game, playing this game when I played. But I went a couple times as a spectator out when I got out of college.
Yeah,
and it's crazy out there. It's crazy out there. But I'm so excited about this game, man. I'm so excited. It's when I think we get the short end of the stick because we have to go out underneath OU's fans.
every year
We go out underneath OU's fans, and OU gets to run out in their fans, with their fans. They never go down to our side of the field as a team. So outside of the stadium as a team. So it's ridiculous. But man, this game, no matter what the rankings are, I don't know where we're ranking right now. I guess both teams aren't ranked right now.
That's bizarre too.
Yeah, that is. But no matter where the rankings were throughout the years, this is a rivalry game. They hate us and we don't like them, And so you get up for this game, man. And so this is the game you also see what you're made of. Both teams are going to hit each other in the mouth, and who's going to respond to it. And it's going to be fun to watch.
It's
fun.
The thing I like about this game, man, it doesn't matter. I mean, we've seen Charlie Strong team, a Charlie Strong coach team that was, their season was falling quickly. And they look good. Tyrone Swoops hit Caleb Blewett.
Yep.
That jump pass. And, man, that was beautiful. They carried Charlie out the field.
Yep.
We saw Mac Brown, I think, won his last one.
Yeah.
And that
I believe
was
so. And then I got a confession to make, though.
Uh-oh.
I'd never beat OU.
Oh, you're one part. Oh, my God. Okay. So those who are not aware, back when Stevie played, that's the OG Big 12. Okay,
Yeah.
North and South Division. And when he played, OU was OU in Texas competing for the national championship every year. And the winner of that game almost always in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
And it was OU was stacked.
Yeah.
And so were you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It was I think back then Texas and OU were just competing 1, 2, 3, 4 for recruiting classes.
Yeah.
All throughout those years. And so you're right, we were stacked. We had some hell of a ball players coming out of both schools that made long careers in the NFL,
Heisman Trophy winners.
Heisman Trophy winners, Dork Award candidates, Lombardi candidates. What's the DB one? We had a few DBs.
A. Ross.
Yeah.
Huffy.
So, yeah. And so you're talking about, Chris Sims, Roy Williams on both sides. OU Roy Williams and
Tommy
Texas
Harris.
Tommy Harris.
Dvorak.
But yeah, Cedric Benson. Those days, man, it was something to see, man. We had some real big time players back then in that game, and it was fun. It was really, really fun to play. And go into that stadium, go to that atmosphere. The deal that Coach Brown had made is if we win the game, we get to stay. You just have to find your own ride back home. And that wouldn't have been hard, because half of Austin was in Dallas at the time.
Every time. And there's nothing like seeing your fans, the last ones in the stadium.
Yeah. Well, I never experienced that. So
So why do you think, okay, this series traditionally has been streaky. I think OU's won the last 4.
Mm-hmm.
they won 4 straight. Wait, 2001, 2, 3. Oh, they won 5 straight in the turn of the century.
I got there in 2000.
Oh my God!
I took a medical red shirt my freshman year, and all 5 years I got beat, man.
They were damn good teams because OU played for the national championship twice during those years. Actually, they won it in 2000.
Yeah.
They just had a good run.
They had a good run.
Was that
over now?
Was that the hardest team you've ever faced? I mean, the most physical?
No, Nebraska.
Really?
Nebraska. So during the scouting report, there was a person on film on the offensive line who was just massive. And if you look at the film, everyone's head was regular size. But this one on Nebraska's offensive line had a big, big head. We called him Buckethead. You guess who it was? You want to take a guess who it was? Incognito. Richie Incognito.
Completely forgot about him.
He was he was big, physical, and also nasty. All that stuff came out about him. When all that stuff came about him when he was playing for the Dolphins,
yeah,
everybody was like, "Yeah, we can see that. I can see him being like that." Because if he was that nasty on the field, he had to be nasty off the field. You know?
Oh my God! Now it's all coming back to me. His
history. Yeah. So that was the most physical team that I've ever played. Was them. OU, I guess, would be a second, third. Texas A&M had some physical offensive linemen.
Yeah,
I remember playing against them back in the day. So, all right, so that's my claim to fame, man. I never go OU, but I never A&M.
Hey, give and take.
Give and take. Where's my ball? I got a ball that Coach Brown. Oh, it's upstairs in my pseudo man cave.
Man, I got to come by and see your man cave.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of man section because I'm the only boy in the house, right? So it's just a little section, man. It ain't nothing to write home about. But it's a ball that Coach Brown gave us, and it has all the years that I played, and the scores against A&M is on the ball,
right? And
it says 4 in a row. It was really 5 in a row, but 4 in a row because of my red shirt. It's 5 in a row, but it's 4 in a row. So,
I remember that dominated A&M. Flipped the switch on those guys because they had a streak for a while.
Yeah,
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Hey, so shockingly, OU fans, they've been saying this a lot lately.
Did OU win today?
Nope.
Oh.
Oh my goodness,
man! Back to back Big 12, 0-2 in the Big 12.
Wait, they're back to back losses?
I think so.
They lost the week before,
so they lost. Yeah, they lost to Kansas State and just demolished in Fort Worth.
Back to back losses
in the Big 12.
And we gotta. So, all right. So that's what scares me, right?
Yes,
that's what scares me. A team backs against the wall, nothing to lose. They're gonna go all out. They gotta win something, or their whole staff is getting fired. So these guys are lives, their livelihoods. It can get real ugly. Up there.
So Brent Venables, he was defensive coordinator and co-defensive coordinator while you were at Texas, and forever. His ties to Stoops go back to Kansas State when Snyder got that thing rolling, and he played for Snyder. And then Venables goes to Clemson, is Dabo's defensive coordinator, co-head coach. So this is his first year, and you saw when Lincoln Riley just up and left for USC, took the quarterback, a bunch of other players. So just considering all that, I mean, the little you've seen, we haven't seen enough of Oklahoma. I mean, they're 3-2, but 0-2 where it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Oklahoma, I mean, their quarterback, Gabriel, was knocked out of the game, but TCU was already up big. He had a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you honestly feel like, it's scary to be in this position because you can say Texas is going to roll, but you played in this game. Do you think they're that bad? I mean, there's no way OU's that bad.
This answer may not make sense, but they are that bad. But this is a rivalry game that they can beat us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are that bad except this week. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
No.
I get it.
No,
I get it.
You get it, though.
I get it. I don't know if
they are
everybody
that
does.
bad except for this 1 week in October. Let me tell you this. They've circled this on the calendar during off-season workouts. They work out around this game.
Yeah.
You know, what Coach Brown say, they hate us more than they love themselves. So they're not putting themselves through a summer workout in Oklahoma for their own good. They're doing it to beat Texas. Yep. They hate us more than they love themselves.
Well,
you know, so
I spent 6 years up there covering Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And got to know the inner workings of it. Still have friends up there. I have much respect for that program.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds weird, but they do things a lot differently. Like it's a little more blue collar, as we mentioned, meaning there's something about it. And that state, they hate Texas.
Yeah.
There are events on the day of going down from Norman, Oklahoma City, wherever, down 35. In Oklahoma, I forget the name of the community. It was at Paul's Valley, a gas station. They have a Bevo Bash.
Oh.
And they're selling burgers for a reduced price.
Oh, my goodness.
Bevo Burgers.
Bevo Burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
We would sell Sooner something if we knew what a Sooner was.
It's a Sooner Schooner wagon.
Yeah, man.
Legend has it, the Sooners, land thieves, as they call them.
That's what it was.
They claimed their land before the boomers went off, the guns.
Ah.
The land run.
I remember, I heard the story about the land run going and claiming their lands sooner than everybody else. But I didn't know about the boomer part. That's funny.
Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Well, now you read body language really well.
Okay.
Coach Venables, after they were just, I still can't believe I'm saying this, beat by TCU by 31 points.
Yeah.
Just look at this guy. I mean, remember, he's a first-year guy. He's trying to rebuild it. After, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Lincoln Riley gutted it. Plus, they had guys go to the NFL. But this is him. I mean, I've never seen him like this.
You know, we got to give them answers, and we've got to help get them better quickly. You know, things don't get any easier for us. And, you know, the commitment has been there. You know, everything that we've asked of them, they've responded. And so incredibly disappointed for them. And, you know, and again, you know, talent doesn't win games. Teams win games. And we got a lot to get better at to become a good football team.
Yeah, he's defeated. This guy's defeated. He was giving us all the coach's words that was listed on his paper. And he went down the line, gave us everything that they could. You know, all coaches speak 101 was on his paper, and that's what he tried to give to the media. He was just he was filling his media obligation right there.
Yeah. He bit his tongue twice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Steve.
His team did everything that they asked them, that the coaches asked of them. I guess they didn't ask him to win the game then.
I mean, let me tell you some quotes I had from responses from my people up there in Oklahoma City. I said, I don't remember what I put out there in the Twitterverse. I said, I don't remember. Is this a mirage or what? There's no way OU's this bad.
Yeah.
And every one of them from up there quickly responded, yes. They have fooled us with those 3 wins they had. They're that bad, which makes it, to your point, a little bit more of a concern for Texas fans because we all know. Yeah. I don't know what the Vegas line is. Have you seen it?
No, I hadn't. I don't.
Texas -7.
Really?
Vegas usually doesn't lose.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's too close for my blood.
-7.
Oh, it's a rivalry game, man. OU is that bad, but it's a rivalry game. Well, I think those numbers would change if we knew who our quarterback would be.
I mean, he's improving, but we all know you can't just put, well, I'll say this. Would you, I mean, a big-time playmaker quarterback, any type of playmaker, these are the games that you go in and you elevate your game. It doesn't matter how long you've had off. I mean, you go in there and something just clicks because of the intensity.
Absolutely. And we saw what he could do that first half against Alabama. It clicked for him. The atmosphere was crazy. Even though we were at home and the atmosphere is crazy and things like that, I still think that it's a bigger atmosphere in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl.
I agree.
So if you can't get up to play football in that game, then you probably shouldn't be playing football, right? So if we get our QB1 back, then I think we can do some special things in that game. You know?
Why? So, I mean, I think Texas, they're going to have a tough game, but why does OU blow Texas out more often than Texas blows out Oklahoma in this game?
That's a good question. I think because when we're bad, we're bad. When we're bad, we're bad. We're like almost hot and cold. There's no in between for the University of Texas, you know.
Right.
And they've had our number a couple of years.
But you guys had some really good teams. I mean, elite level teams. 2000 happened, and then 2003 happened. I didn't understand that. It was like,
so 2000 was like 63-3 or something like that.
Unreal.
Yeah. I can't tell you. I try to forget those games. That 2000 game, I was actually red shirt.
Yeah.
I played my first 3 games of the season, 2 or 3 games, and I came back, practice. We were finishing Thursday practice, and I had a pain in my foot, and the doctor pushed on my foot and said, "Oh, it's broken. You're done for the season." He could have told me that after the game. I went through a whole week of practice, ready to play a game, and then whatever. But anyway, so I wasn't a part of that 2000 season. I was on the sideline after having surgery on my foot. Coach Brown wanted me to still travel with the team and learn how to travel with the team.
Right.
And so I was on the sidelines, and it was a freezing cold game, rainy, and it was miserable. Like, I'm like, guys, we can't do nothing. We couldn't do anything against them. It's like that they had our play calls, and they knew what we were going to run, and they were just there every single time. They took our soul that game. So,
yeah.
But you're right. We don't blow them out like they blow us out. But you know, the win-loss column is tilted in OU's favor, I think, right now, huh?
I think. They've won 4 in a row. overall, Texas has it by 12 or 14 games, but it's about even since 1980.
You think so?
I think so.
I'll actually go back and look and see for 22 years. I want to know from 2000 to right now, because 98 was when Coach Brown got here and turned the program around. And so I would. You don't have to do it now, man. I think I'm
just curious.
Yeah, that's something I want to look up. Since Coach Brown to now, where's the record in this game? Because we played it every year.
Yeah.
It's the Red River Rivalry. But man, I don't want to. What I talked about earlier, I want to discourage anyone from going. That's just my feelings. It's just so crowded up there.
It's the state fair.
It's the state fair and all that stuff, and I don't need any more fried Oreos. You know.
Man, you smell that, and even in the game, you smell all those foods.
Yeah, exactly.
That air horn from that state fairgrounds. I wish they'd turn that thing off.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Man, yeah, man. But it's a fun time. It's at the fair. It's family friendly and all that stuff. If you're not going to the game, don't go to the fair at that time though, because
don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Yeah, my wife. She always says she almost got ran over by a horse.
Did she?
Yeah, they were doing crowd control with the horses.
Oh my God.
And one of the horses ran up on her, and she was like, "Oh shoot, I got to get out of here!" But she couldn't go anywhere because it was a crowd. You know, she was stuck between the crowd and a horse. What are you going to do? You know,
Boomer and Sooner. That's the name of it. Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you know what's pretty cool?
What's that?
It's that when that Cotton Bowl tunnel is what really makes this game. And I've been down it as just a guy, but I've never been down it as obviously a player. I've been down it 18 times.
Yeah,
it's special.
It is special. But that game that you got up, that's the against Miami.
Yeah, that was not a good day for Texas.
It's the Cotton Bowl against Miami. Wow, that's a good looking picture right there. I like that.
I love it.
Yeah, but that stadium behind that picture in the background, dude, half and half, burnt orange and whatever they call themselves, crimson
and cream.
Yeah, whatever that is. It's burgundy.
What do you remember? Do you remember anything? Because I know the way it is now in the tunnel was not how it was as we see it in the tunnel now.
Yeah, but I remember kids and old ladies flipping us off.
Yeah.
It's it's literally like, golly, it's pure hate in some of those people's eyes. And to them, it's not a game. It's not a game.
War.
They hate us for sure. And that was the first time I ever felt like, man, these people, if they can get across this barrier, they want to do something to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, you know what? Do we have enough security around here for them, not for us? If you would come on that field, we were so jacked in that tunnel, but is there enough security around here for us, man? And I told you I was hurt, so I was out there in street clothes my first game. My very first game experiencing this, I'm in street clothes with a big boot on my boot on with crutches on the sideline. And so that was the first time I experienced the game. And I was like, whoa, this is nuts. And then I looked behind me. I knew that their locker room was across from ours. I was like, they get to come out with cheers. Yeah. And we get to come out with nothing but booze and everything like that. Like booze and people cursing us and all that stuff. And we run out, and then they come out, and they are in their fans, their beloved fans, and they're getting cheered the whole, like, it made no sense to me why we had to split it that way. Why didn't we split it goalpost to goalpost, sideline, instead of end zone,
or flip it every year,
or flip it every year. Yeah, so they don't flip it every year, So
they do not.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But I think that's part of us getting up for the game, man. I love the game. I definitely love the game. I will only go back if I have sideline passes and I walk out with the team. I don't think I'll be in the stands.
Well, I went last year for the first time as a fan since 1991. I was glad to be there, but man, I'll tell you this, it's hard. It's really hard. Just some of the things, I don't know. It's being a fan is fun, but it's not for me for these big games.
You know what? Maybe we should call John Bianco and get some media passes.
We need some sideline passes. Period.
Take a quick trip up there and come right back.
Just come down.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing. The only thing that I don't like about the Cotton Bowl, Stevie, I love that stadium. It's old. We know it, but it's special. But so halftime, Texas had a big lead last year. Huge lead.
Mm-hmm.
I go get some beers. I was in line for entire halftime and missed half of the third quarter.
No.
And I hear all this momentum. I'm like, OU fans.
Yeah.
And we know what happened. But, man, you're living life good if you're at the Cotton Bowl. There's just no doubt about it.
No question.
So you got to admit, though, when your team bus goes through the state fair, that's an experience in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. The cops are trying to make a way for you and all that stuff, man. But it is people everywhere, and it's horns down at the bus. These people really do not like you, and it feels like they don't like you as a person.
Everything about you used to be back in the maybe when you were there, but I know in the 90s, some of those OU fans would come up to the Texas bus and start rocking it.
We didn't experience that. I think we had a pretty tight security, police security around us at that time.
They got smart.
Yeah, they got smart. So exactly.
Hey,
we didn't have anybody touch the bus.
Oh, they can't. Hey, we're not going to have any more of that. We don't need any assaults, some felonies here before the game starts. So this threw me off, Stevie. In the coaches poll, 5 Big 12 programs are ranked, but not Texas or OU.
Yeah,
that's bizarre.
It is bizarre, but that's where we are. And I can't argue with the polls.
Yeah,
I can't argue with them. We lost to Texas Tech. And Alabama, and OU is on a 2-game losing streak within the Big 12. So you can't argue with it. I wish I could.
Yeah,
I can't.
I'm liking this story in Lawrence, Kansas, the Jayhawks.
Yeah, you like it until they play us. So I don't.
Until I think they got game day in Lawrence this week.
Do they really? Who are they playing?
That's what I want. They play Oklahoma next week.
After us?
Yep.
Oklahoma can go on a 4-game losing streak.
TCU at Kansas.
TCU at Kansas. Oh, that's worthy of game day.
Yes, it is.
17-19.
Sonny Dykes.
They got OU. Then they got Baylor. And then Okie State. Oh, my goodness.
Dude, Kansas going through the gauntlet here.
They are about to go through the gauntlet, and they can come out. They can come out on top.
They got a great – hey, that offense and that quarterback's something to be concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. Hey, you know what's fun, Stevie? Well, fun for those who don't like Texas A&M. So A&M took one on the chin at Mississippi State in Stark Vegas. Jason Washington, former Longhorn coach, assistant, he's on the staff at Mike Leach. So Leach, the Dogs head coach, was asked about did A&M change anything or did they do anything that, because A&M now is all of a sudden struggling. This is what he said in his Leach kind of way. Basically said that A&M was predictable.
It was okay. It was pretty similar to what we expected. Consistent with what we saw in film, with one adjustment that we expected them to make. They were different on the two backs than I guess I expected them to be. So.
Hey man, allergies are bad in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Dude's got an upper respiratory infection.
Yeah, that or COVID. They stopped testing in Mississippi. I promise you that.
I don't think they ever did.
Yeah, exactly. Man, yeah, that's Mike Leach, man. He's gonna throw some sideways shade out there to you. So, but I think he's right, man. I think everybody's got Jimbo's number now, man. He either he didn't have anybody that's going to make adjustments for him offensively or and defensively, or he didn't trust his team, his players will go out there and make adjustments. If they throw too much at him, it's very easy to get into A&M academically, so. So I don't know if their players are smart enough to make adjustments and they have to just keep going with base packages. I don't know.
God, you know who they have this week?
Listen, I'm joking, man.
It's funny. Hey, it's Longhorn humor.
Yeah, man. Who they got?
Johnny Manziel ain't walking through that door.
No. Not at all.
In Tuscaloosa.
Are they? Oh my goodness.
But you know what? Just like OU, I mean, A&M beat them last year, but that quarterback's not there. He transferred out.
Yeah, but also the back and forth that Nick Saban and Jimbo went with.
That's right.
Over the offseason, Nick Saban finna beat the brakes off of him.
He's going to pull it. I mean, he's going to pull out all stops. Yeah,
he's pulling out all the stops. He's going to hang. He's going to try to hang 70 on him.
Man.
72. I bet you he's trying to. He's going to put his age on him. What is he, 72 years old? 73?
He'll put, hey, they're going to want revenge for losing in College Station last year.
Losing in College Station and saying what he said. Jimbo saying what he said. If you want to know the real, go back and look in his closet or whatever he said on in response to going back and forth.
Yeah.
So this is I'm surprised game day isn't there.
I know it, and I bet if A&M would have won, that's where they would have been.
Yeah, because those war of words they were pretty inflammatory.
Talking about, I mean, the thing about A&M, though, in their defense, that recruiting class, I mean, they're not going to make an impact right now. I mean, there's no way. But how is A&M in the situation they are at quarterback, and with Jimbo having the contract that he does? I mean, of course, if someone stepped up and ponied up all that cash, but man, what if they do get blown out? And that puts them at 3-3. They go on the road to South Carolina. They'll probably win there. Then they got Ole Miss at home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, what if they finish 6-6? What happens?
6-6 is good for them.
For A&M?
Yeah, because they're thinking about that new class that's coming in. There's not going to be any pressure on Jimbo at 6-6. I don't think so. They're still making a bowl game,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think they'll be okay.
Man, that's bizarre. I didn't.
But you can't do 6-6 again next year.
No,
You have to almost double your wins next year, almost.
man.
Not double, but you know what I mean. It's they're going to start grumbling a little bit. You know? Yeah. So
we got some drama building up in College Station, and some drama at the QB1 position up in Arlington.
Yeah, I can't give you anything there medically. I don't think anybody knows how he's going to grip the ball, but certainly we feel a lot better about the way Cooper's playing, the way the team is playing, the way our offensive line has evolved.
Stevie, Cooper Rush, the redheaded stranger, is undefeated in every game that he's ever started.
Yeah. It's a quarterback controversy up there, I think. And nobody's really talking about it now. What I did hear, I heard Booger McFarland say it tonight. He said that Dak Prescott gets $40 million a year. He's gonna when he can play, he's gonna play.
They're going to try to get return on investment.
ROI. but man, do you want to justify your money spent, or do you want to win the championship? Right? Go with what did it say? Dance with who brought you?
Dance with the ones who brought you, Darryl Royal.
Yeah, man. So Cooper, what is it? Cooper Rush?
Yeah.
He's gotten you there right now. Right? You're there with him right now. So am I going to win, or am I trying to win, or am I trying to justify my bad financial decisions? You know,
endless bad decisions.
It actually wasn't a bad financial decision. He's the quarterback QB1 that he needed to be paid QB1 money. So, but if he's not QB1, you got Rush in there, go ahead and let him finish it out and make Dak sit down and say, I really got to get it together, you know?
Yeah.
Because this guy took my position.
Well,
you know? And then I say go with the man, go with the one that got you there until he messes up.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm a Dak guy. I'm a Dak Prescott guy. I've been on the Dak train since he was drafted out of Mississippi State. I've thought highly of him. But man, it's just there are some really, I mean, he's a great person. He's been through a lot. He's a great inspiration to kids. He does play hard. There is no doubting that. The guy leaves.
I want him to play. I want him to play. He's from down the street from Shreveport.
Is that? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. He's a hometown boy. From
how did I not know that?
What? Not Benton, Louisiana. It's right off I-20.
Yeah, going
east on I-20 in Shreveport. So, you know, and Shreveport, mostly everyone in Shreveport are Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh yeah,
that North Louisiana thing they're mostly Dallas Cowboy fans. You have a few Saints fans in there, but that's all Dallas Cowboy country. And so, I like him doing well for the Cowboys, but I believe, and I'm not a coach, that you go with the hot hand and you stick with it. And Rush got the hot hand right now.
Leave the business out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The business was do you take care of business parts right before training camp is where I think you need to leave the business.
Well, you got that, and the fact that Dallas may have one of the best defenses they've had in quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're solid. They are salty. That's I know that's a part you watch a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the linebacking, not LB play, D-line plays pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the secondary. I mean, that's going to keep them in all these games.
Yeah, absolutely.
My God.
Absolutely.
Man, let's put a wrap on this thing with some positivity. It's been pretty, because you're a positive guy.
Hey, Ben, tell me something good.
Big Stevie Lee, man, the most positive guy in the ATX metro area.
What'd you say, in Williamson County?
I almost said Williamson County. I almost said Travis Williams. What's called ATX, the MSA, the Metropolitan Statistical Area.
Yeah, man.
Oh, tell
you something good.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
you something good. Oh man, we won last week. Something good. We're going to Dallas. It's gonna be fun. It looks like it's gonna be sunny this weekend.
A little
cool. Morning game. Get up, get some breakfast tacos, and sit on the couch and watch the game. That's something good. That's something good is going to happen in my house. I'm going to get some breakfast tacos. I actually may go get some brisket and some refried beans and make some brisket, refried beans, and cheese tacos with some orange juice and a coffee, sit out on the couch and watch the game.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, and then, you gotta spike your coffee on a morning like that with a little bit of whiskey. So that'll be fun.
Bailey's.
I'll just put some, I got some Basil Hayden right over here right now staring at me. Or I got I call my pandemic whiskey, the cheap stuff. I got my cheap pandemic whiskey over in, you get a big old bottle of Jim Beam for $21, So I usually spike or mix with that whiskey, If you want to ruin a good whiskey by making an old fashioned or something like that, or putting Coke in it, you use the cheap stuff.
Man, for games, in-game cheap stuff. Oh my God. I don't know if this is good, but we're leaving at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday.
You going up there?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be fun. But that crowd, man, oh my goodness. Oh, but are you coming back the same day?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you can't partake up there.
Hey, shout out to my guy Brian Mays. He's going to drive. He won't let me pay gas, but we're going to go up and back like we did last year. I'll tell you something good about it. I am not going to wait in line for a beer at halftime this year.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. I want to take Texas 37-21.
I was going to say that.
Oh, no way.
No, well, I was going to I was going to put a little bit more offensively. We do something. I think we need 42, but 21. I can get them 3 scores.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I think we can be sound offensively.
How many times will Boomer Sooner play at the Cotton Bowl?
So they play it in the beginning of the game and at halftime. That would be great if they only played it twice. Beginning of the game and halftime. That's it.
I'll put the over-under at 14. I'll take the under this year. For Stevie and our guys at Hargrove Roofing, we out.